Welcome friends, once again it's Amir Iqbal Khan from Amir's Tech YouTube channel. Today in this video I'm gonna talk about router on a stick configuration which is getting used in VLANs. So for in this configuration I have this type of topology for this lab. So a router on a stick related to this topology will be configured in 5 steps. The first step is assigning IP addresses to end hosts, basic security configuration on switch 2, switch 1 and router 1, configuration of access ports for all end hosts connected to switch 1 and 2, and configuration of trunk ports on among switch number 1 and 2 and switch number 2 and router number 1, in configuring the sub interfaces on router number 1, which is in this case a router on a stick. So I used 192.168.10.0 on an IP address which facilitates 4 network. As of I've used /26 prefix, so it facilitates 4 networks, subnetworks, and I have 3 networks here, so it will be enough. I have used the .62 as of its default gateway, as it is the last usable address. So I did this with one PC. I will go with the first step, assigning IP addresses to end hosts. So I will do the same thing with with the PC number 2. I will do the same thing with PC number 3, the same VLAN but in different switch. Let's go into the client and the VLAN 10. Sorry, VLAN 20. I'm using the last usable address as of its gateway, which in this case it's 126. I will do the same thing for PC number 2. I will go into VLAN 30, which holds dot 128 IP. I will assign 129 to this with 192.168.10.190 as its default gateway. 10.130 and 190. So I've done first step. I will do the second step, which is basic security configuration. Enable conft, enable pass, CCNA. It will be based on your choice. You can select any password for yourself. Service password encryption. I will encrypt the passwords. Client console. This configuration is available in basic iOS security configuration video in my YouTube channel. So I will do this as fast as I can, but it's for the best practice. You have to do this with any topology in the network you have. I will do the same with the switch number 2. Line console 0, password, login, exit. Line VTY 0 up to 15, password Amir, login, exit. Show running configuration. As you can see, all the passwords are encrypted. I will go into step number 3, configuration of access ports. So I will configure any devices connected to these switches as of its access ports. So I will go into config T, interface range fast Ethernet 0/1 up to 2, switchport mode access, switchport access VLAN 10. VLAN 10's name will be human resources in this case. Exit, interface range fast Ethernet 0/T up to 4, switchport mode access, switchport access VLAN 20. The name of VLAN 20 will be sales. Sorry. Exit. I will do the same thing with switch number 2. Conf T, interface range fast Ethernet 0/1 up to 2, switchport mode access, switchport access VLAN 30. VLAN 30's name will be information technology. I will select the range of fast Ethernet 0/3 up to 4, switchport mode access, switchport access VLAN 10, which is the same as in the switch number 1. So VLAN 10's name will be, what was the name of VLAN 10? I forgot that. It was human resources. Exit. Do show VLAN brief. Let's confirm the VLANs. Yeah, first Ethernet 012 is for information technology with the number 30 and the same for human resources. Let's confirm it in switch number 12. Do show VLAN brief. Yeah, it's configured correctly. So first, the third step is done. Let's dive into step number 4, configuring of trunk ports. So interface G01 will be used as trunk port between switch 1 and switch 2. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk, native VLAN 1000, switch port allowed VLAN 10 and 20. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and 20. I have to tell you about these two commands. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and 20 will allow VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, which is connected to switch number 1, and will deny and not allow other VLANs. So this command switch port trunk native VLAN is in the frame tagging. When we use these commands, specifically the native VLAN, it will be not, the frames in the native VLAN will not be tagged. So the switches can easily know that which frame belongs to a native VLAN. So that frames will not be tagged anymore. So the number of the VLAN should match among all the other devices in the topology, because if mismatch happen, the connection and communication will not be established. As you can see, the CLI is giving me an error message with a native VLAN mismatch discovered on G01. So because this is not configured on switch number 2 still, if I configure, these message will be disappeared automatically, and these message belongs to the CDP protocol, which is a Cisco's proprietary protocol. I will jump into switch number 2 and we'll do the same thing. Interface G01, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk native VLAN 1000, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 20, 30. I will allow all the VLANs, which in this case it's 10, 20, and 30, because this switch is connected to the router, so it has to allow all the VLANs. As of this 20 is not connected to this switch, so we will configure do show interfaces trunk whether they are allowed or not. As you can see, VLAN 10, 20, 30 are allowed on trunks in this port, but 20 is not allowed in the management domain. Why? Because we have not created VLAN 20 on VLAN on this switch, which is switch 2. So I will not assign any access ports, but I will create it here. VLAN 20 name cells. I will get back into G01, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 20, and 30. Let's confirm that again. Do show interfaces trunk. As you can see, all the VLANs are allowed in the management domain. So the configuration of trunks. Oh, sorry, I have to configure the trunk port among among switch number 2 and router number 1. The configuration is the same: G02 switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk native VLAN 1000, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 20, and 30. Exit. Number 4 configuration is done. So I will jump into step number 5, and we'll do the router on a stick method in order to establish connection among different VLANs. You have to keep in mind that a router on a stick is used to establish connection among different VLANs in a topology. So a router on a stick works on sub-interfaces. What is a sub-interface? It's a virtual interface which divides a physical interface into virtual interfaces. So conf I think I did not done basic security configuration on router number 2, but keep in mind you do this thing. This will be your assignment. So configuration of sub interfaces. Interface G02, I will now shut down it first. Interface G02 dot 10 encapsulation dot 1Q, the number of the VLAN 10, IP address 192.168.10.62. You have to put the default gateway to the router in order to get the route. Interface G02.20 encapsulation.1Q 20 IP address 192.168.10.126 in the subnet mask, which is in this case .192. Interface G02.30 encapsulation .1Q 30 IP address 192.168.10.190, and this will be the subnet mask. So let's confirm the configuration. Do show IP interface brief. As you can see, I have 3 sub interfaces G02, 2, and 2 with .10, .20, .30 for each VLAN. So each VLAN's interface in this case has its own IP address. So let's ping devices in order to test the reachability 192.168.10.2. Let's ping this device whether it's working or not. As you can see, I have the replay from the PC and VLAN 10. Let's ping VLAN 20 from VLAN 30. Yeah, 192.168.10.65. You can see the replay is coming. It works fine. Let's ping from this device. Ping 192.168.10.3. Let's ping this PC from VLAN number 20. You can see replay comes and the configuration is successfully done. 192.168.130. Let's ping this PC from VLAN 20. You can see the replay is successfully coming without any issue. 192.168. I will do the last ping. I will ping this PC from VLAN 20. Yeah, you can see replay is coming. So this was a router on a stick method in the terms of VLAN configurations. So we use a router and the configuration I've done in order to configure the router on a stick. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any comments, feedback, do let me know. Thanks of your patience. And do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment this video.